Hey Sharad,
Hey, Arhum.
how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Long time, man.
What's going on, man? Are
Not
you?
much, man. Just getting used to married life.
Yeah. How's that going so far?
Good, man. Good. It's going well. Definitely a lot of changes and adjustment, but for the most part, it's for the better.
Nice, nice. Awesome, man. Awesome. So, when did you guys already go on your honeymoon, or are you going next week or so?
Actually, next week, yeah. So
Next
not
week.
this weekend, but the following weekend, we're going to Riviera Maya in
Nice,
Mexico.
nice, nice.
Neither of us had been there, so we figured it was probably a good idea to, explore. And I didn't want to travel too far away.
Right.
So we were initially thinking Thailand or one of the Far East places or even Australia, but then it was more like I just want to just relax this time because the wedding and everything had been so hectic and it's just been a roller coaster. So figured we'd go to a beach and a resort and just hang out there.
And plus, like going on on a long flight, it just almost like kills, 2, 3 days out of your trip. You're jet lagged, and just by the time you get there, you're tired. You need a day to just, get your energy back, and then,
Exactly.
you have 2 days, 3 days to enjoy, and then you're getting ready to head back.
Exactly, absolutely. So that was one of the main things, right? I mean, we have a week. So a week, like you said, if you spend 3 days in traveling, a couple of days in getting over the jet lag, that just leaves you with very little time. So
Right, right.
yeah, so yeah, looking forward to it. How about yourself? You've been traveling quite a bit yourself lately.
Yeah, I was in Chicago last week, and I have a client coming in from Australia, and he's actually coming in the day after Thanksgiving. I wasn't originally planning to travel, but he's a big client. He's bought 20 properties from me in last 6 months, and is looking to buy like 100 more. So,
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Amazing, man. That's amazing.
yeah,
Wow.
he's looking to set up a fund, and he's looking to do it at really large scale. So what he does is he raises money from investors in Australia, and then he goes and buys all these single family houses in US. So we started with about 20 properties. Everything is going great, and then he's looking to ramp up. So he didn't realize that, it was a holiday weekend. He booked his flight, and then he sent me an email, and I said, "Oh, it's a Thanksgiving weekend." He's like, "Oh, I already booked my flight. So I'm gonna fly out Friday morning and come back following Monday."
Okay.
Right,
Wow. Wow.
right,
Wow.
right. So
So that's okay, but I mean, yeah. So luckily you're going after the holiday weekend, right? Or are you going during it?
no, no, no. Day after Thanksgiving.
Oh, day after, so the
Yeah,
Friday of. Okay.
yeah, the Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, the day after.
Your wife must be like, oh,
No, my wife, she's not too excited about it, but I
I
told,
can only imagine.
yeah, I told her I'll buy you a nice present.
That's pretty cool, man. So this guy, he sells property. He buys properties like the type of the ones that, like in the B neighborhoods, or what sort of properties
Similar
does
to
he?
what you bought, like very, very similar to what you bought, in Hammond, Maribel area. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we don't do anything in a C or a D area, and
Right. Yeah, I
then
remember you telling me
A
that.
gets too expensive. I've done like a deal here and there in A area, but usually it gets super, super expensive over there. I think B area is the sweet, sweet spot. I mean, that's where I buy my properties. So I can't be selling properties in an area that I don't invest in myself. I can't be like I personally own cheap neighborhood properties when I first started out, but over last 3, 4 years, I've realized that B area is the best. It's the sweet spot where you get a decent quality tenant in a good neighborhood, and
Right.
people are going to take care of their properties. I mean, you saw, when you were in the area in Hammond. I mean, like the areas that I invest in, my two main questions are, would I live in that area if I have to? I would, I wouldn't have any safety concerns. And if I was sending my wife to collect rent after dark, would I be concerned? And my answer is no. So, I mean, you know our property manager, Karen, so she's a female, so, we want to make sure that, I mean,
Yes.
she's from Hammond, but, we make sure that any area that we buy in, we actually check with her first to make sure that she's going to be comfortable managing that area. So,
Of course.
right. So that's been going really good so far.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that is, and like you're getting more and more investors. Like ever since I've been telling my like I know this recently closed, so I'm slowly starting to disclose to some of my friends and contacts and networks in Dubai and abroad about this, and they're certainly asking some more questions and things
Sure.
like that. So, it really excites me to know that you actually work with international investors already and somebody who has a fund and things like that, like in Australia. So you already have experience with that.
Right.
Maybe after I get a couple more, and that's something that's definitely a venue that I might be exploring in the future. That's for
For
sure.
sure. Yeah, actually, most of the investors that I work with are from overseas. Like I would say over 90% of them. It's only
Really?
recently that I've started working with US investors, but majority of the investors that I work with are from Australia actually. And
Oh,
my dad has a friend in Dubai. He was traveling, he was in Dubai last week and he just mentioned, oh, like my son is doing this and you know, I mean when you start getting like eight, $900 for $60,000, $70,000 investment, people definitely get very excited about it.
well,
So
that's a great return.
yeah, he was
Yep.
talking to a friend of his in Dubai, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I would want to buy a couple of properties just to see how it goes, and then if it goes well, then I would want to scale up."
Right,
Yeah,
right, exactly,
yeah,
exactly, and that's the kind of sort of feedback that I've gotten as well. Like initially, and then I was just like, okay, well, I told them, I'm like, well, let me try and get my feet wet. I'm still getting my bearings around it, just trying
exactly.
to understand how all the dynamics work. And once that's happened, then we could, it's something that I could potentially explore, and it will be a good segue to,
Right,
sort of get in and for
definitely,
get deeper. Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
So cool, man. So this, so the property, yeah, excited to have it. Definitely, it's good to close on it. So now it's just a matter of once I familiarize myself with once the rent starts coming in, everything in for the next couple of months, then I think from there I'll be ready to go and check out some other ones.
Awesome, awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm also redoing my entire website, so I'm excited about that. We should be launching it next week or so. So I'm excited about that. I mean, the website that I had before. I recently started getting a lot of investors, like asking about turnkey properties. I thought, okay, maybe I should have a professional website, where instead of me trying to explain somebody what I have and what I do, I can just guide them to the website and it pretty much will answer 90% of the questions they have. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, there's this website. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. I'm sure you did. It's called Turnkey Reviews by
Oh yeah,
Jay.
yeah, yeah, by Jay and Bree.
Exactly, by
Yeah.
Jane Bree, yeah. So I was just thinking, I'm like, why isn't your thing on here? Like, I'd be more than happy to leave. I wanted to check with you if you're okay with that.
Oh,
Leave a review there,
of
and
course.
then you could get some of your investors to go and read on because that has such a high visit. Because Jay, as I'm sure like writes is all over Bigger Pockets, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And
I'm doing a couple of deals with them. I've done a couple of deals, and I'm doing two active deals with them right now. Like
oh,
those are
nice.
those are flip deals.
Oh, the flip deals. Okay,
Right.
excellent,
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah.
Wow, wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I mean, his, he has got the turnkey review site, and you could definitely be on it and get all your people who you prefer to just put it on because every single person it's below his signature. So I
Right.
know a lot of people follow him, so
Right.
you get a lot of traction. So
For sure.
that website by default gets a lot of traction as it
Right.
is because I see a lot of people like I have the word set up turnkey, so I get a lot of people referring people to that website.
Right.
The first thing that comes up there are recent reviews. So all
Okay.
uh, your top players, quote unquote, in the industry, like the JWT Capital in Florida,
Right.
Elite Invest in Chicago. There's another Profit for Rental. All
Right.
these guys continuously, Memphis Invest.
Right.
All
Right.
these
Right.
guys just continuously get people to go on there and leave them reviews. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'll
um,
really appreciate if you don't mind, leaving a review over there. I'll really
yeah,
appreciate it.
absolutely, man.
Yeah. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, man. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions and then just answer them honestly. If you don't like something about, how everything went, I really
Oh,
want to.
man.
Okay.
More than happy, dude.
Awesome.
Definitely, definitely,
All
for
right,
sure.
man. So yeah, I know you're in your car, so I promise it won't take more than.
No, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
My wife's actually gone shopping, so I have a few minutes right now. So I'm,
Oh,
I'm.
you have a few hours then.
I know, right? That's why I was just like, let's talk. Like it's fine. She's like, you want to come in? I'm like, no, honey, I have work to do actually. So she's like, okay, fine.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
All right, man. So, yeah, if you can just please start off by telling us your name, where you live, and what you do. You don't have to tell us your company, the company you work for, but just a little bit about what you do, where you live, your name.
sure. Hi, my name is Arhum Nomani. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I work here as a marketing consultant.
Awesome, awesome, man. And then why did you decide to invest in turnkey properties?
Well, I work full time, so I literally leave home at 8 a.m. and come back at about 7 or 8 p.m.
Right.
And I wanted to get into real estate, and I wanted to start a cash flow and understand the real estate business. Figured that this would be the best way to sort of get my feet wet and enter the industry
Awesome, awesome.
as an investor.
Cool, cool. So why did you end up choosing Northwest Indiana, like Hammond, Indiana? Why did you end up choosing that market over other? Did you look at other markets?
Yes, I did look at other markets, and they're still on my radar. But Indiana, number one, it's growing. Number two, it's landlord friendly. Number three, when I came to visit you and we saw the neighborhood, I think that was one of the key things as well. You see a nice, good neighborhood in a decent area, giving good returns. It's close to Chicago.
Right,
It literally is, well, like you said, one of the suburbs, like the outmost suburb of Chicago.
right,
So I think these were the main key factors
right.
that played a huge part.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the way to look at Northwest Indiana is as a suburb of Chicago in Indiana. I mean, there's a local train connecting, Northwest Indiana to Chicago. I have a few tenants that live in Hammond and they travel to Chicago every day for their jobs. It's like any other suburb. When I was in Chicago, I used to travel to Indiana every day, half hour to 45 minutes drive. So, no, I agree.
Exactly, that was a huge selling point. So
Awesome,
absolutely.
awesome. Okay, so did you have any concerns before going into business with us?
Yeah, I mean, one of the key things was, fear of the unknown, like, who you're dealing with. You're investing in a property that is miles away, and, you're kind of placing your trust and faith in someone else. So obviously there's that element of trust that comes in. But then, right, from the day when we met, actually, and even our correspondence on the phone before that, I really enjoyed that. You were very upfront about everything, your ideas, your plans, and then the fact that you have properties in the same area where you recommend properties to your clients and where your clients have properties. I
Yeah.
think that speaks a lot. Like that sort of gives, and the property manager who's managing your property manages your clients' properties. So that literally is a huge sort of, is a huge way to say that, you put your money where your mouth is. So
Okay.
that is definitely great.
Awesome, awesome, man. And you mentioned that you looked at a few other markets. Like what particular markets did you look at, or what other markets are on your radar right now? Just curious.
Some of the other markets, well, the two, three markets that I started off, again, I was huge on bigger pockets, so spent a lot of time there. Um, Initially, it was Birmingham, Alabama was kind of close to me, but then
Right,
I realized it's an economy that's not really growing or expanding.
right,
Decent cash flow, but I look at some of the macro trends as well. They weren't favorable. Another city is Chicago, but then again, you kind of sort of get the higher taxes and
right,
it's not landlord friendly. The third market that I like a lot and potentially might be looking into in the future is Kansas.
right,
Um, Kansas is again a great economy. It's one of the up and coming cities. Has gotten great appreciation as well.
right.
That's one of the things I look for, appreciation.
Awesome,
So I guess that's the next on my list. I think one of the top ones on my list.
awesome, awesome. And then, uh, so why did you decide to do business with us?
I think mainly because of you, man. I think after, I mean, right from the get go,
Thank you
it's
so much, man. I appreciate it.
you've literally been extremely helpful, extremely patient. I'm a first time investor, so I had a ton of questions. My closing took a little bit longer because of my circumstances. That
Right,
I was here as a foreign citizen, and then it
right.
just took time to arrange documents, and you were able to help me, guide me through the process, answer any questions, work with my bank, and finally until everything happened. And you've just been very responsive and easy to reach, and I think all
Awesome.
these things really played a huge part. So I think you're investing is, I think, for the most part about who you're investing with as much as it is about the market you're investing in
Yeah, I
industry.
agree. I mean, it really comes down to the people that you work with more than, you can work with somebody really good and they can help you make money in a D area, or you can work with somebody who's not honest and you'll lose money in an A area. So, but I really appreciate the kind words, man. It means a lot to me.
No, definitely, and that was a huge part. I'm not just saying it, but it really is one of the main reasons. You got to be comfortable with the person you're working with, and you've been very helpful right from the day one. So
Awesome. Awesome. I
yeah.
appreciate it, man. So what areas can we improve on as far as, what we did business-wise?
That's a very very big question. I mean, I wish I could give more feedback on it, but I think right now I've just, everything that I've experienced has been great. The only thing is you're coming up with a website. I would highly recommend that
Yeah,
because, that's something I personally want to look at certain properties that are
right.
available. I sometimes think I'm like, hey, what does Shirt have out there? I know a lot of other companies have their websites which they update regularly.
Right.
So really excited to see your website.
Yeah.
So I think direct off the bat, that would be the only one
Okay.
that you're working on it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, we already have that in the work. So, okay. And are you looking to purchase more properties?
yes,
Okay. In near future?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Um, yeah,
And would
for
you
sure.
consider purchasing more properties from us?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Absolutely, yeah,
Thanks, man.
absolutely. I'm just looking forward. Like I said, it's just it's been 2 3 weeks since I've closed, so just waiting to just familiarize myself with everything, and then once everything goes smoothly, which it has been, everything
Right.
has been great. Everything continues this way. I think, and I get some experience as a landlord
Right.
to
Yeah.
say, get everything sorted out, and then yeah, I'll be ready to dip in
Okay.
again. Absolutely.
All right, man. The last question I have is, would you recommend us to your family and friends? I think you kind of already answered that question, dear, but if you could,
Yeah, already have been. I mean,
awesome.
the answer to that already have been, and I think it's just gonna get more and more as my friends have been asking me, and they're kind of like, "Hey, you're already there. Do you want to like help us out and things like that?" And I'm just like, "Okay, well, something I'm thinking about for sure. Let me get some more experience. So after I get my first couple,
Okay.
the idea is to definitely go and expand and get my friends and family involved. So
Awesome.
absolutely will recommend. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you one more question, even though I didn't have it written down, but how does it feel to be an investor now? I know this was your first property. How does it feel? What's the feeling like?
It's a great feeling, man. Like, I mean, I already have a property where I live, but
Right.
as an investor coming in, being able to buy something and then kind of be like, it's a strange feeling because, people wait for so long to sort of get their second or third property, and being able to do that, and knowing that this is something that is actually happening. And the day your deal closes, I think, I remember the notary when she was sitting here and it happened. It's a pretty cool feeling.
Right.
It was like, as I mentioned, it was a longer process for me than for most people
Right.
to just
Right.
go through the hurdles and all that and getting all the paperwork sorted. That was the main thing.
Mhm.
It was a good relief, and it feels good. It's a good feeling for sure that your money's working for you
Right.
basically, and it's somewhere that you're finally implementing something that you've been planning for a long time. It's a very good feeling.
Awesome. And is your wife excited too?
She is. She is. I
Yeah.
think she was kind of like she didn't know much about it
Right.
until recently. She goes like, you never told me that you're into it. I'm like, yeah, well, things were in the works and stuff. And now she knows that I do this like a lot, like after work, like I'm talking to you right now. So it's kind of like, oh my God, I didn't know this is actually like, one of your passions and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm working towards it. So,
Nice. Nice.
but
Awesome.
she's getting used to the fact that actually real estate is part of my life as well
You know,
now.
it makes your life much, much easier if you have a spouse or a partner who understand and who's on the same page. Not everybody has that, luxury where, your partner is on the same page. They understand why you want to invest in real estate, what's your long-term goal. So it's awesome that, you and your wife are on the same page when it comes to that.
Yeah, man, I've been very lucky that way, and like speaking to you as well. You said as well that
Right.
you're in the same boat, like when you guys got married, and your wife was very supportive as well. So,
Right.
that's it. Definitely is a plus. I think I think it is a good feeling. That's for sure.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, man. That's it for the testimonial. I really, really appreciate the kind words.
Hey, man, no problem at all. I'm glad I could contribute towards the website.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
one of
Awesome.
those things.
Thanks, man. I still left you some time to go shopping with your wife.
Yeah, I think so. Oh man. But quick question, Sharad.
Sure.
Apart from that, honestly, are there other properties that you have right now? Speaking of
Yes.
other properties on the website,
Yes.
like something. Can you tell me a little bit about a couple that are
Yeah.
there?
I mean, most of the properties that we have are in Hammond area because I honestly, I really, really love investing in Hammond. I think it's perfect market in terms of, the rental value, in terms of appreciation. Actually, we picked up a new three-bedroom, one bathroom. We're just starting rehab on it. I think we should have the rehab done in a couple of weeks or so, and it's going to rent for about 950 to 1050, let's say about $1,000.
Nice.
and I think that'll be a pretty. I have some before pictures of it. We're putting a new roof, windows, all new plumbing, electric. So I can send you the pictures of it, but just keep
Yeah,
that in mind that it's not a finished product.
of course,
Right.
man. Yeah, definitely,
Right.
definitely. And is this in the same price range as the 6603 Arkansas?
No, this will be because it's a three bedroom. It will be a little bit more. It'll be between 65 and 70,000.
Got it, got
Right.
it. And the one the 6603 is a two bedroom?
It's a two. It's actually it's also a three bedroom, but it has a third bedroom in the basement.
The basement. Got
Right.
it, got
Right.
it. Okay, so this one has three like on the top
Yeah,
floor.
it's
Like
actually a three bedroom, two bath. The other one is on a slab. So there's a
okay,
basement and it's a three bedroom, one bath. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So the tenants of this place of 6603 are really good, huh?
Oh
They're
yeah.
honest.
They're gonna be there before you purchase the property. These people really wanted to put a fence on the property, so they ended up doing it themselves. We just paid for the material. So that's why we had a
Right,
bit of confusion on the building part. So I talked to Ken yesterday, I said, you know what? Billium can be confusing because like she has same property under your account and under my account. So I told her, I said, just leave it as is, just start paying Arhum from November, and then for the October half month rent, I'll just write him a check. So this way, you don't have to mess.
oh,
That's
okay.
why.
Yeah, yeah, I was just wondering what it, also she had the property under your account.
Yeah, because the thing is like when before I sell the property, it's listed under my account, and once you buy, then the way the Billium is set up that she has to almost like create, like she'll create it as 6603 Arkansas dash one because you can't
Right,
have like two properties, the same property under two different accounts because she's
right,
managing under one Billium account. So she can
right,
have
right.
two. But when you do that, otherwise, what will happen is if she transfer it over to you, then you will see all the prior history of the property, which is like
Okay,
not relevant to you. So that's why we set it up as a new one. But I guess we haven't figured out, we've only been using Billium for about, a year or so. So we haven't
right.
really figured out on what's the best way to do that. Like sometimes we have these nuances where in this case, the tenant did some work on the property and, he bought the material, so we gave him credit on his rent. So that's
Got it.
why, we can figure out how to best show it on Billium. So I said, you know what, it'll just be easier if I write him a check outside, and then you don't have to mess up in Billium.
Cool, man. Yeah, that's
Right.
fine. I mean, like I said,
Right.
it was easier for you instead of mailing it. You could do like a PayPal or email transfer, whatever. But
Hey,
you're
what
mailing it.
bank do you have an account with?
Chase.
Oh, do you want me to do quick pay?
Sure, man. Like if
Oh,
that'll be
actually,
easier
that'll
for
be
you.
better. Then the money just goes out of my account right away and you get it right away. If I mail a check, it's
Perfect.
gonna take like 2, 3 days for you to get the.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, quick pay will be the fastest and easiest way.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so just after the call, do me a favor, just text me your quick pay email and I'm gonna send you the money in next couple of minutes.
Sure, man. Take your time. That's
Awesome,
perfectly fine.
awesome. All right, man. Thank
Awesome, man.
you so much.
All
I
right.
appreciate
Nice
it.
talking to you. Thanks
Yeah,
so much, and enjoy the weather in California. It's starting to cool down over here. So,
yeah. I mean, the weather has been nice. It goes up to 75 degree during the day, but in the evening it goes down to like 40 degrees. So the temperature differential is pretty huge, like 35, 40 degree.
amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. So it does dip. Okay. There's a big change.
yeah.
Cool.
So
Cool.
awesome, man.
All right, man.
Go ahead
Good
in
catching up with
Mexico
you,
next week,
Sharad.
okay?
All right. Sounds good,
All right,
man.
thanks,
We
man.
catch up for sure. All right. Take care. Thanks.